On this Friday night, 6 months after first laying charges against an alleged serial killer, Toronto police try to bring some measure of comfort to the family of an 8th victim. Plus, we find out what's next in that case that has rocked a community. Also tonight, space exploration is about to get a whole lot hotter. NASA is setting its sights on the centerpiece of our solar system, reaching out to touch the sun. This is The National. Let's start with the growing case against an alleged serial killer accused of preying on 8 men in Toronto's gay village. Joanna Remiliotis tells us why the investigation is turning a corner.
They've all been horrific. Every single update in the Bruce McArthur serial murder case.
As you know, on January the 18th of 2018, Bruce McArthur was arrested.
And while this one began the same way,
He has been charged with 8 counts of first-degree murder.
today's announcement felt final. A grisly loop in a shocking case.
I can now report that we have recovered and identified the remains of Majid Kaihan. We do not have any evidence to suggest that Mr. McArthur is responsible for anything more than the 8 murders to which he currently stands charged.
Of the 8 men McArthur allegedly murdered, Majid Kaihan's remains were the only ones police had not recovered until they went back. For 9 days earlier this month, police sifted through 2 compost piles dumped on a ravine behind the house where McArthur stored his landscaping tools. Every day, police found something, human remains, strewn literally in bits and pieces. Police won't say why they think Kaihan's were the only ones they found back there. The dismembered remains of McArthur's 7 other alleged victims were found in planters on the same property earlier this year.
Obviously, it's a very difficult time for them.
Hankit Singha says Kaihan's family is devastated again.
They were eternally hopeful that what's happened ultimately wouldn't happen, but they're very grateful, they're very thankful for the closure, and they're very angry. And they're angry at, I think, at the right person, which is Mr. McArthur.
Like most of the victims' families, Kaihan's has been very private too. But he was known in Toronto's gay village, where he lived for a time and was a regular on the bar scene.
I started off as a host.
Bob Watkin worked at a popular bar in the village. He remembers Kaihan as flirtatious, chatted with him often. Watkin knew several of McArthur's other alleged victims too.
That I know who they are, like them, and know enough to know that none of them deserve to die that way.
McArthur was also a regular, and in the wake of detailed media coverage of his case, Watkin says he feels haunted.
What are you haunted by?
Just the mere fact that this man was killing people all around me. Over that time frame, there was somebody that I interacted with who was sitting as close to you as me sometimes, talking to me like we're talking now. And while I was talking to him, he was looking around me for people to kill.
Community activist Haran Vijayanathan came to the first police update and hopes today's is the last.
It's the up and down roller coaster, and I think this is kind of good to know that they're looking at the finding of these remains as the last of it, but still open to investigation. So now it's just going through the whole process of the court case and the trial and seeing what comes of that.
So, Joanna, what's next?
Well, police, Andrew, say they certainly hope it stops here at 8 victims, and there's no evidence at this point that there are more. But this case has generated so much media attention that tips are still coming in daily, including from countries where McArthur may have traveled to. And police are still looking at several cold cases dating back to the 70s and 80s. Even so, they call it an active investigation, but today certainly felt like the end of a chapter of sorts. And police are certainly looking forward and working closely with the Crown to prepare for a trial.
Okay, Joanna Remiliotis, thanks very much. Okay, here's what else we're working on tonight on The National. NASA gets ready to launch a probe to the sun. What they're expecting to find and why it matters, just ahead. Plus, who gets to tell Indigenous stories? Fresh off the controversy of Slave, Canadian director Robert Lepage finds himself smack in the middle of yet another heated debate. But first, Wildfires continue to tear across the Okanagan in British Columbia. Right now, emergency officials describe the overall situation as stable. But anyone from BC will tell you things can turn on a dime. And there's a warning it could actually take a turn for the worse again as early as Monday. Here's where things stand. More than 1,700 people are affected by these wildfires right now. 38 properties are on evacuation orders, their residents essentially forced out. And people at more than 800 properties are on evacuation alert, warned to pack their bags and be ready to leave at a moment's notice. It is an all too familiar scenario this time of year for this region, but as Briar Stewart explains, it's still taken some by surprise.
Smoke billows up from the burning slopes in BC's southern interior, while on the ground, people anxiously look on. These fires burning in this area were ignited by lightning earlier this week and were whipped up by winds and hot weather.
Tense, very tense. I think everyone is fearful for what could come. Oh, yeah, look at that straight in the middle, Jalen.
Greg Davies and his son Jalen moved into this area a few weeks ago and were terrified by what they saw last night.
It was a raging inferno, crazy. We had so much wind, even standing in this actual area. You know, you could feel the sand blowing against you. It was crazy.
Just after midnight, they got a text message telling them they were on evacuation alert.
You can go to bed for another hour or two at least. It's on your mind. Like, you get the knock on the door and you have to be gone at your house like that.
Fires are becoming an expected and devastating part of the summer season. Last year in BC, tens of thousands were forced from their homes and more than 300 buildings were destroyed when fires raged across the province. But it wasn't last summer that Nicole Heeman was thinking of as she stood taking these photos of the area currently burning near Peachland.
It actually brought back a lot of memories of the Fort Mac fire because that's where I was 2 years ago. I was part of that. And so seeing those flames brought the memories back and just hoping that they won't get closer to town.
The good news is that today in the Okanagan, the weather actually helped the firefight. It was humid and not as hot as it has been, but things aren't looking good for next week.
And then starting Monday, it's going to get hot and dry again. So we're really taking advantage of these next couple days to action it hard, throw the crews at it, throw lots of water on it, and try to get some gains on our containment.
Before conditions could cause these fires to grow even more and ignite new ones. Briar Stewart, CBC News, Vancouver.
Now let's bring in CBC meteorologist Johanna Wagstaff to talk about what exactly comes next. Because Joe, you know, there are the short-term forecasts, but we both know how volatile this sort of situation can really be.
You're right, Andrew. In fact, tonight, even though temperatures are lower, humidity's higher, winds are still very gusty. In fact, over the next couple of days, we'll see some strong winds for the southern interior. But the direction they're blowing at is actually pushing the fire back in on itself, the opposite direction that fanned those flames in the first place. So for now, that's some good news. But we are seeing rapidly changing conditions within the valleys and mountains. So you're right, things can still change very quickly.
And so what if we look a little longer term, Joe, the rest of the summer? Because it's hard to forget how bad things got last year.
It's true, and I'm seeing a very similar pattern, Andrew. As Briar mentioned, we're getting into another heat wave beginning Sunday into Monday, and this is our new normal. Building heat waves that last a week or more, very hot, very dry conditions, followed by dry lightning that sweeps through, lightning that actually doesn't come with any precipitation because it evaporates before it hits that hot and dry ground. So we'll watch for that as we head into the end of the week, probably followed by another hot and dry period. We'll probably see this pattern right through to the fall. And again, this is a similar setup to what we saw last year and a bit of a new normal moving forward.
Okay, thanks, Joe. Let's turn to New Brunswick now, where premiers wrapped up 2 days of meetings. So, what'd they get done? Well, they've upped the amount of alcohol that can be taken across borders slightly. But as the CBC's Evan Dyer explains, when it comes to the bigger interprovincial trade picture, the leaders were short on specifics.
Premiers got a chance to meet each other, and it was something of a coming-out party for Ontario's new Premier, Doug Ford. But it's hard to say that anything concrete was accomplished at a summit that was supposed to be about eliminating barriers to interprovincial trade. Last year, when the premiers met in Edmonton, they announced a new Canada Free Trade Agreement they said would cut the red tape that impedes the free movement of goods and workers in Canada. Economists agree those barriers are a multi-billion-dollar drag on the economy. But they spent the next year doing very little to implement that deal.
I think the Canada Free Trade Agreement was a major step for the Canadian economy to reduce barriers for internal trade, but we haven't taken the subsequent steps after that. And I think there's an acknowledgement of that around the table.
So this year, the premiers were determined to show action on at least one item, alcohol sales, the hodgepodge of restrictions that make it illegal to buy beer, wine and spirits in one province and then take them to another.
This is
Manitoba's Brian Pallister brought beer from his own province to make the point.
The barriers to trade mean that my staff brought 24 of these beers so we could give them as gifts to my colleagues. If this had been the 25th and I had brought this beer, I could be fined up to $5,000 on a second offense.
The premiers say they did strike a deal to move ahead immediately to raise exemption limits for alcohol. But as they ended their session, the summit's chair made it clear that there's still a lot of details to be worked out.
We have all committed over the next few weeks and months to take action to significantly increase the levels for import. That's where we landed on the consensus. We're certainly going to respect those that want to make sure they have a conversation with the people they represent to get a feel of exactly what that could look like and how they could go about it.
The premiers were even more vague when it comes to the change the Canadian wine industry really wants to see, a lifting of the prohibition on online sales between provinces.
Extreme disappointment and frustration not only on behalf of our wineries, but for consumers. 9 of 10 consumers would like to be able to order wine from another province winery and have it delivered to their home. That didn't take place today at the Premier's Conference.
And so the summit ended with some of the same commitments we heard last year, only this time the premiers say they really mean it.
Okay, but Evan, you know, we've been hearing about the need for this to change for so long, and no one really seems to dispute the fact that it hurts the Canadian economy as is. So why does it seem so difficult to bring about actual changes?
Well, I think that the premiers come here, they reach agreements in principle, but then when they go home, you know, they face elections in some cases. They start to hear from lobbies back home, people who actually vote in their provinces, raising concerns about this detail or that detail, and there are other pressing matters to deal with. And so it's not so much personalities or divisions between the premiers. I think it's just the inherent inertia of trying to get 13 people to agree to change 13 different sets of rules.
Okay, but then why should we expect any actual movement on this time around?
Well, I would say there is some cause for optimism in the sense that the premiers do realize that last year was a bit of a bust, a bit of a failure, that they didn't follow through on the agreement that they'd signed, and that they can't just go away and fail to do anything for another year and then come back next year and make the same promises again. They're also feeling more pressure now from the federal government to move ahead with this. But it must be said that alcohol sales are the low-hanging fruit of internal trade barriers. There are other barriers that cost the economy far more and will probably be harder to fix as well.
Okay, thanks very much, Evan.
Thanks, Andrew.
And let's stick with the theme of challenges, shall we? And take you quite literally out of this world. Space scientists down south have got some big plans. Never mind the moon or Mars, NASA has its sights set on the sun. It's planning to launch its Parker Solar Probe, an attempt to get closer than ever before. How close? About 6 million kilometers, which maybe still sounds kind of far, but consider this. If you took a meter stick and put the Earth at one end and the sun on the other, the probe is supposed to make it to within about 4 centimeters of the sun's surface. Compare that to the previous best, set more than 40 years ago. And a lot's changed in all those decades, including NASA's goals. Here's Salima Shivji with more on what scientists hope to learn.
It's a very soft surface.
49 years to the day that man landed on the moon, NASA had an update on how it will get to the sun. The space agency is putting the final touches on its Parker Solar Probe. It will launch in just over 2 weeks to try and touch a boiling ball of gas.
We are now at the finish line and ready to launch our mission, join all the other wonderful missions that NASA has. Looking at the sun, we're going to be providing that last piece of the puzzle.
It travels faster than you can imagine, faster than any other man-made object.
At our closest approach, we will be traveling at 430,000 miles an hour, or about 118 miles a second.
And the probe will use the planet Venus and its gravity to help direct its path straight into the layer surrounding the sun, the corona. The goal? To learn more about the charged particles called solar wind that come from the sun and then travel the whole solar system, but also to figure out why the sun's atmosphere is so much hotter than its surface, all while these sophisticated heat shields protect the craft from that intense heat.
In a relatively short time, we've come to understand so much more.
For many scientists, it can be hard to identify only one thing to be excited about when it comes to the Parker probe.
For me, the thrill of understanding something that's been a puzzle for so long, that's what is the most interesting thing. I mean, there are all these technical developments that were necessary to do that. And each one on their own, they're quite amazing.
He says what many don't realize is every bit of information Parker will send back will help us on Earth.
Solar events that send a lot of charged particles our way can have significant effects on our power grids and can bring a power grid down, can have significant effects on our communications, can wipe out communications for a long time. So it's important that we understand this.
Key information as we try to unlock the mysteries of our star on the probe's 7-year journey to explore the sun. Salima Shivji, CBC News, Toronto.
Now, someone with a keen interest in all of this is our science and technology reporter, Nicole Mortellaro. She's also an amateur astronomer. So, Nicole, first off, we're talking about a 7-year mission here. Explain how that works, because I'm wondering, does the probe arrive at the sun and then just smash into it, or does it stick around for a while?
Well, it will be arriving in November, and it will be orbiting 24 times, taking it out beyond Venus and back in and close around the sun. But it's not actually touching the sun. So it's in its outer corona, is what it's called, the outer atmosphere. And so it's kind of like putting your hand, the difference between putting your hand in a pot of boiling water or in an oven. You're not touching those particles in that way. And that's the same thing with the Parker Solar Probe.
Okay, still pretty hot nonetheless, I surmise. So now I understand you have not just a personal interest in this, but a personal connection to the story?
Yeah, for 7 weeks, NASA opened up a contest, not a contest, but they asked the public to submit their names that would be put on a microchip that will be on the spacecraft. So it's kind of neat to think that eventually when the spacecraft breaks up, our names will become part of the sun's corona.
Does it kind of make you feel like you're along for the ride?
Yeah, why not?
Okay, Nicole, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Okay, and some of the other developing stories we are tracking tonight include new details about yesterday's deadly boat sinking in Missouri. We've learned 9 of the 17 people killed were all members of the same family.
It's a sad occasion, a lot of people involved, a lot of families involved with us down here on vacation trying to enjoy time, and ends up with an incident like this.
The boat capsized on a lake in southern Missouri. Witnesses say a powerful storm blew in and that the boat carrying 31 people was overcome by choppy waves.
I couldn't see anybody. I couldn't hear anything. I couldn't hear screams. It felt like I was out there on my own. And I was yelling and I was screaming. And I said, Jesus, please keep me. Just keep me so I can get to my children. Keep me, Lord.
The 17 who died were all ages, from 1 to 70. But weather is just one factor now under investigation. Authorities also want to know if those on board were wearing life jackets. Also tonight, revelations that Donald Trump's former lawyer, Michael Cohen, secretly recorded a conversation between himself and the U.S. president. Media reports say the two were talking about payments to a former Playboy model who says she had an affair with Trump. The FBI seized the recording during a raid on Cohen's office earlier this year. He's under investigation for bank fraud and campaign finance violations.
When you get a chance to get a top 5 player, which it doesn't come very often, I think you have to jump on it.
And the president of the Toronto Raptors today on the decision to trade away a beloved team member. DeMar DeRozan was swapped this week for star forward Kawhi Leonard. Reaction to the move was intense, and not just from fans. In an online post, DeRozan said he felt blindsided by the move. Masai Ujiri apologized today for what he called a miscommunication. And still ahead on The National, as cities around the world crack down on short-term rentals like Airbnb as a way of getting housing crunches under control. Tom Murphy will explain why some in Nova Scotia actually say they might be the magic bullet for their economy. Plus, inside the gallery, as the art world grapples with the Me Too movement, how do you celebrate the work of famous artists who've been accused of bad behavior? And how one little boy's wish brought a world record-breaking attempt to Fort St. John, BC today. That's our moment of the day.
You can do anything you want. You know what I mean? If you have an idea and it's good enough and you reach out to someone, it's going to happen.
The sharing economy is constantly evolving, especially in how it's regulated. Cities like Toronto and Montreal may be cracking down on peer-to-peer services like Airbnb, but it is a different story in Nova Scotia. As Tom Murphy discovered, the province is treading lightly as it tries to figure out the best way forward for short-term rentals.
The old Oxbow Motel hasn't exactly kept up with the times now, has it? Abandoned, it is perhaps a symbol of the changing tourism landscape in rural Nova Scotia.
It is a struggle in this community. We have a few accommodations, but they are very few. They're limited. We certainly need more.
In fact, a recent study projects a shortage of as many as 6,000 rental units across Nova Scotia in the coming years.
I listed on Airbnb here.
In the meantime, like a lot of places, this is increasingly an option.
We encourage families.
A private property for rent on Airbnb, the very thing many jurisdictions around the world are restricting. But Nova Scotia, desperate to attract more tourist dollars to these shores, may be giving Airbnb the benefit of the doubt.
We can't bring people here unless we have somewhere for them to stay. It's also giving local cleaners, local property managers, local carpenters a chance to get more work.
And that's precisely why the province doesn't want to be too quick to clamp down on Airbnb and other sharing economy platforms like it.
And so we have this new sector that's creating a couple of thousand micro businesses from end to end in the province.
And here's the thing, almost 2/3 of all the hosts here are women.
It's hitting all the buttons from an economic development perspective. It's creating women entrepreneurs at a higher rate than any other segment. It's getting older demographic into the business, and it's disproportionately active in rural areas. You know, it's the magic bullet.
Still, registered licensed rental property owners who, by the way, unlike Airbnbers, pay commercial taxes and HST, say it's time to level the playing field, not to mention regulate quality.
There needs to be some sort of inspection device in place to make sure that the tourism industry is protected as a whole, because you're only as good as your rottenest apple.
All things the province is considering.
And the hope is to put a smaller cabin home here.
You're planning to expand?
Yeah.
As it looks to keep up with the tourism times. Tom Murphy, CBC News, Shelburne, Nova Scotia.
Next on The National, fresh off the controversy of Slave, famed director Robert Lepage finds himself embroiled in yet another controversy about who gets to tell which stories. Plus, big dudes with little dogs. You will not want to miss this week's CBC Short Doc.
I've had people slam on their brakes in the middle of the street and pull their phone out and be like, oh my God, what the heck is that? Just like videotaping me. I'm just like, oh my gosh. Once a week, someone will think it's my girlfriend's dog.
Welcome back. Tonight on The National, fresh grief for the family of two survivors of a February school shooting in Parkland, Florida. Their father was shot and killed this week during a robbery at the convenience store he owns. Ayub Ali's two older children attend Marjorie Douglas Stoneman High School. He also had two younger children, one of them just a toddler.
Charlie has been through an appalling experience most of us could never imagine. Today is a very welcome milestone in his recovery.
Some news out of the UK today. One of the two people recently poisoned with a nerve agent has been released from hospital. Charlie Rowley and his partner Dawn Sturgis fell ill, and she later died after coming into contact with this nerve agent late last month. It's believed the pair was accidentally poisoned, but officials believe the substance came from the same batch used to attack a former Russian spy and his daughter earlier this year. And Disney has fired the director of the Guardians of the Galaxy franchise for what it called indefensible tweets. James Gunn posted the comments online several years ago, but they resurfaced this week. In them, he makes some pretty lewd jokes about pedophilia and rape. Gunn has apologized for the tweets, calling them shocking jokes, but Disney said today that the comments were inconsistent with its values. Now, the clash between art and values is a story of our time, and the minefield of social media is just one aspect. Tonight, we look at two controversies raising questions here in Canada. How do you present the work of an artist who has died when he's now accused of sexual misconduct? But first, who gets to tell the stories of people who have been oppressed? Quebec's Robert Lepage is under fire again after a long and provocative career. When Lepage depicted God as a muddled old man, it was at least the Christian God he grew up with. And when he co-directed Romeo and Juliet in a bilingual production pitting Quebecers against Western Canadians, it wasn't exactly foreign material. But Lepage can get into trouble when he crosses cultural borders.
They are co-opting our pain. They are co-opting our suffering.
Just weeks ago, his exploration of slave songs with a cast that was mostly not black closed prematurely at the Montreal Jazz Festival. Now he's under fire for Canada. It examines the relationship between Canada's white and Indigenous people with no Indigenous performers. But as Jayla Bernstein tells us, the creators have now met with their critics.
It all boils down to whether non-Indigenous people should portray Indigenous people and tell their stories on stage. Iconic Quebec director Robert Lepage says yes, but this open letter signed by 19 Indigenous artists and activists begs to differ.
Sometimes that's all we have are our stories, and so to have those also taken from us and extracted from us for profit, for someone else's own needs and wants without the involvement of us is hurtful.
They say Indigenous people are often invisible in the public sphere and that the play Canada doesn't help by retelling their history without Indigenous voices.
We still have many concerns because even though we now know the context of it, it's still questionable.
Last night, they raised those concerns here with Lepage and Ariane Manouchkin, whose Paris-based theater company is putting on the play. It seems some progress was made.
His tune is changing a little bit now that he has two theatrical productions that are controversial on his plate, but he is a revered figure in Quebec, so he has that going for him.
Lepage explained the cast is made up of new French citizens, many former refugees. That casting will not change.
If he had done it here in Quebec, it would have been different. He said that he would have included us, of course, from the beginning till the end. Well, I want to believe that because Mr. Lepage is a friend of the First Nation for so long now.
Lepage's production company has released a statement. It says that Manouchkin and Lepage hope that a big step towards mutual understanding has been taken. They are grateful for having been listened to with attention and goodwill. The show is set to open in Paris in December. Whatever that final product looks like, there's hope that something positive will come from this discussion.
They asked us to trust them, okay? So nobody saw the play. So I don't know, maybe it's going to be awesome and we're all going to like it, but I have doubts.
Jayla Bernstein, CBC News, Montreal.
Now we shift focus to Toronto, where the Me Too movement has collided with the work of a revered photographer. The question, do the personal failings of an artist negate his groundbreaking art? As Stephanie Skendaris discovered, there may be a way to balance respect for the work with respect for alleged victims.
The work captures India like never before. Raghubar Singh made his name with vibrant street photography, in color where others used black and white. He had a personal connection to the landscapes and the people he shot from the 1970s up until his death in 1999.
You can almost feel the heat, you can taste the sweetness. They are visions from within the culture. They don't reproduce the stereotypic touristic images that often dominate in Western media.
Curator Dipali Duwan says bringing Singh's work to the ROM was an exciting step.
We wanted to make an intervention into that history of photography by showcasing the work of a non-white photographer in a history that was dominated mostly by male Western photographers.
But when the show premiered at the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York, it was met with this protest. Artist Jayashree Abichandani came forward with allegations Singh sexually abused her in the 1990s.
It shocked us, it made us really concerned, and it made us think a lot.
This was something that we had, near daily conversations about. We brought our board of trustees into the question. We asked staff who are working on the project, how do we want to think about this?
There were few examples to draw from. In Washington, the National Gallery of Art has indefinitely postponed installations by artists Chuck Close and Thomas Roma after sexual misconduct allegations came out against them. In a statement to CBC News, the gallery said all parties involved acknowledged that it is not the appropriate time to present these installations. Art professor Dot Tour says the ROM has found itself in the middle of a conversation dominating the art world.
I don't think we can leave the context and the biography of an artist completely out of the picture. What we do with that, I think, is the question everyone's asking. And if you're going to call out one, I guess you should call them all out.
That would include people deeply entrenched in the Western art canon and whose personal lives are now under heavy scrutiny. Artists like Pablo Picasso, who mistreated women in his life, or Paul Gauguin, who was past 40 when he married 3 young teens in Tahiti.
In a lot of ways, the biographies that we've been told of famous artists through the centuries has been sanitized.
Art critic Leah Sandals says it's time to complicate those simplified stories.
And not treat these people as untouchable heroes and visionaries and geniuses, but recognize the ways in which they are failed and have hurt other people.
But she cautions the quality of the conversation is just as important.
It can't just be a superficial check mark, check a box, oh, we did it. It's got to be something that is respectful, and respectful especially of the people who have been abused.
And so that's why the ROM is taking an extra step as it goes ahead with the Sing show. A free display called Me Too in the Arts features a timeline of the Me Too movement and the words of Sing's accuser, Jayashree Abichandani. She consulted with the ROM and told CBC News, "I support the ROM exhibition as they are the hopefully first institution to address the topic. Every supportive space created for survivors is appreciated." But museums will continue to grapple with troubling artists who make great art. That conversation is far from over. Stephanie Skandaris, CBC News, Toronto.
And next on The National, challenging traditional notions of manliness with tiny dogs. We've got a special airing of a CBC short doc for you.
We went from an 80-pound bulldog to a 4-pound chihuahua. I thought he was a hairless dog the day he arrived. He was just so frail at the time and so malnourished and scraggly looking. I didn't want anybody else to be responsible for making him better.
They are 5 big men with very little dogs, and they wouldn't have it any other way. Sure, they may get snickers and stares when they go on walks. Sometimes strangers will even stop them to take pictures. But they insist it isn't just that they chose their dogs. In some ways, their dogs chose them too. Tonight on The National, we bring you a CBC short doc that proves size really doesn't matter.
You see Squirt? What's that? No way. They're so high energy and tons of nerves, right? So they'll just when they get excited, they just shake with joy. What's that?
They're not real dogs. They're not real dogs. Anything smaller than like a lab is not a real dog.
Well, give him a kiss. Be nice.
Kiss. Kiss. He must be a sweet guy versus a big biker type guy.
It was love at first bite. I said bite, right?
When I see a large man walking a small dog, I feel usually it's because he has to take care of it for his girlfriend.
Normally, I think it's somebody that's out looking to pick up women.
Well, I assume it's not his, it's probably his girlfriend's. I mean, why would a larger man have a small dog?
You see a big tough guy with a little poodle or something like that, you know? People start to think of these big guys as tough and whatnot, but, you know, sometimes they just want to roll around with a cute little puppy or whatever.
Oh, look at you prancing over there, eh? Okay. You're terribly cute. You always get what you want, no matter what. You just do that, and it works.
Do you imagine coming across this dog in an alleyway?
He wants physical contact a lot. He wants to cuddle with you. You kind of move from being an alien face hugger, like that. Nowadays, he actually can just be sitting beside you. So we're working on that kind of neediness because we want to reduce your anxiety.
He came up for the first time, he sat on my lap, and he put his face right in front of my face, and that was it.
Like, we have great times. I laugh at him a lot. But, like, at the same time, I hope he's laughing at me a lot, too. He's like, your decisions in life are horrible.
You make this difficult right now. You've done this a million times. It's funny, because initially I was supposed to get a King Shepherd, and my roommate at the time was looking for Pomeranians, and she was on Kijiji and stumbled across an ad for a litter of rescue teacup Chihuahuas. I went there and saw 6 what looked like hamsters, and she sort of stumbled over, and she just sort of like put her feet on my foot, which was 3 times the size of her body. Within 5 minutes of meeting her, I was like, this dog's gonna be mine. One more, good girl. And here I am 6 years later with a 3-pound Chihuahua. Perma puppy.
This is my every winter day carrying Chico around. I saw his photo on Instagram and couldn't help myself. He's a rescue from the Dominican, and he's my homeboy.
What is a squirrel? The squirrel is literally your size, dog.
Apparently, Chihuahuas are not desirable in the southern United States. They're treated almost like vermin. They're apparently the second most exterminated breed of dog in North America. So 13 unwanted Chihuahuas were being shipped across the border, and Ray and her mom drove over to Hamilton and picked this guy out.
I've always kind of wanted a skunk, and I also like cats, but I'm allergic to cats. So I wanted a dog that was kind of cattish and had skunk characteristics. And it's been love ever since. Right, Biscuit?
First dog we fostered was a bulldog, and our second dog, we went from an 80-pound bulldog to a 4-pound Chihuahua. I thought he was a hairless dog the day he arrived. He was just so frail at the time and so malnourished and scraggly looking. I didn't want anybody else to be responsible for making him better, and I knew we would be able to do it, and it'd be fine.
Watch this. Monkey. Monkey. Monkey, 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 monkey. But look how happy he's getting. Monkey, 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 monkey. I don't think he thinks very much about the monkey game, to be honest with you. I think it's more for me than it is for him. My first dog was an American Bulldog, and he was a gentle giant, but very playful. And I look at this guy, and I'm like, he's a gentle giant, but very playful. I was diagnosed with a neurological condition that makes me, like, shake and stuff. And he has the exact same shakiness about him. And then he also has asthma. and I have asthma. So we were like, it's like kismet. We were like meant to be together somehow.
Even if we're unhappy with each other or one of us has had a bad day, all it takes is about 5 seconds of him looking like a little goofball and it's all just gone. He's just become such a part of our lives.
It's a sense of companionship and unconditional love, somebody to look forward to come home to every time, you know, that sort of thing. Somebody to take care of. It's weird because I don't really have any kids and I don't really plan to have kids, so this is kind of like the closest thing I could get to feeling of being needed by something.
It's the most consistent love from a living creature that you'll ever get. I just have a compact version of that same love and same friendship that people get with big dogs.
The one funny thing that, like, comment I get, that's an awfully small dog for such a big man.
I've had people slam on their brakes in the middle of the street and pull their phone out and be like, oh my God, what the heck is that? And just like videotaping me, I'm just like, oh my gosh. Once a week, someone will think it's my girlfriend's dog.
To someone who has been told that small dogs are for women or big dogs are manly dogs, I don't think it really matters on what size the dog is. If it's your dog, it's your dog. I love how small he is. It's part of his charm.
Walking down the street with this dog and the people like looking at me, then looking at the dog, and then looking at me again with this huge smile on their face. Like everybody is, you know, walking down the street, distracted, looking at their phones, and everybody kind of looks miserable most of the time, I find. And then this little bright light that shines into their lives.
If like people want to make silly judgments about my having a dog, then it's hardly the worst thing that's going to happen in my life.
Everybody asked me if I got him because I wanted to pick up women. But the thing is, that would be the worst thing to do because not only does that not help you pick up women, because women are more concerned about him than they are about me, but it's just the wrong way to think about it. He's just a dog who needed a home, and I gave him a home.
I'm originally from Ottawa, back home in Ottawa. This would be a laughingstock. Today's day and age is a lot of change, and this is a very mild version of it. 5, 10 years from now, this isn't going to be that uncommon. That's my forecast anyways.
Maybe he likes small dogs and he just thinks it's cute.
It's just practical.
A dog is a dog, regardless of the size.
Maybe they just like little lap dogs, or they're really comfortable in their masculinity and they don't need a big bull mastiff beside them to say, I'm a real man.
And now your weekend can begin. You're welcome. Now, if this struck a chord with you, you are in good company because right after CBC Short Docs put this out, hundreds of men posted photos of themselves with their tiny companions. Here's Gareth Bush and his rat terrier Daffy. He says, dogs are dogs. You wouldn't say humans under 5'2" aren't people, would you? Jay Alpha says, this is Stella, a puggle who gets beer from the fridge. Enough said. I got to get me one of those. There's David Cody Wood and his dog Moose, a Chihuahua miniature pinscher mix, clearly not afraid of car rides. And this is Dakota Black with his canine crusader, Ari, ready to take on Halloween. And you can see many more short docs by emerging filmmakers from across Canada by heading on over to the website cbc.ca/shortdocs. Okay, next on The National, a story of perseverance, perspiration, and paper planes.
I wanted to beat the world record with him, and he was looking for a place, and we have the perfect place. So is this perfect?
How a small town in BC became the center of a world record-breaking attempt this morning. It is our moment of the day. Six-year-old Parker Andrews from northern BC joined forces with one of his heroes to try to break a world record today. The guy on the left is John Collins, also known as the paper airplane guy. He and a former football quarterback, Joe Ayoub, they hold the current world record for basically throwing a paper airplane really far. Collins designs the planes, and no surprise, Ayoub is the guy who throws them. But the 6-year-old Parker thought, hey, they could probably do even better. And so he invited them to Fort St. John, BC, to give it a try. And that's our moment of the day.
This is a big, big moment. We're
actually going to go for throw number 1, everybody.
After a couple dozen warm-up throws, the first attempt to break the record.
Oh, it's slightly to the left. Okay.
Not a great start, but they get 10 tries.
Go on, get up there, get up there, get up there, get up there, get up there. It's going, it's going, it's going good. It's going good. Whoa!
The second went a little better, traveling 215 feet, just short of their existing record of 226 feet and 10 inches. But then things took a turn.
Go on, turn, turn. Oh!
What was it? Was it the humidity, a problem with the plane? Whatever it was, it happened again and again.
It's doing what we want, but it's just curving to the other side. If it did curve, that would have broke it.
Yeah.
That's Parker's voice you hear, watching all of this unfold. And he's not wrong there. The distance must be measured in a straight line. After a break to test a few planes and make some tweaks, they were back at it again. But in the end...
Almost didn't want to say anything. Get up there, go on.
They did not break the record. But that's okay with Parker.
You didn't fail. You only fail when you give up.
Now, in terms of how all of this came together, it actually happened pretty quickly, thanks to Parker. He's fascinated with paper airplanes, and he YouTubed Collins' videos. And after watching, he really wanted to chat with him. So with the help of his dad, they tracked down a phone number and gave him a call. I'll let them describe what happened next.
We weren't even expecting him to answer. We were thinking we were going to leave a voicemail or something. And when John picked up the phone, you know, there was a connection with these two right away. Parker started talking about planes in technical terms. And I think John recognized right away that this wasn't an ordinary kid. He was so enthusiastic.
I said, I'm going to beat your world record. That's the first thing that came out of my mouth.
It is absolutely the first thing he said. He was almost afraid to talk. You could almost hear him vibrating on the other end of the phone.
I know.
He was pretty excited. Lots of energy, yeah.
I wanted to beat the world record with him, and he was looking for a place when we have the perfect place. So is this perfect?
Well, that is just absolutely charming. So where does this all leave things? Well, unless Parker beats him to it, Collins says he's actually going to be ready to try again as early as next year. But remember, it is his own world record that he's trying to break. So I suppose the consolation prize today for falling short is that he's still just the best. That's The National for this Friday, July 20th. Have a good night and a good weekend.